opening night defeat, look, it was a very even game up to the end. You probably had the better chances on goal. Bray probably had better passages of play at times, but overall, a draw would have been a fair result.
Well, yeah, I think you summed it up fairly well there. I thought, up to their goal, we tested their keeper a lot more. Tested their defence. They made some very good blocks, and their keeper made some very good saves. Conor Wynne didn't really have a save to make. They had one chance, probably went wide, but I thought we were the ones that looked more likely. But I agree with you, they probably had more football, but a lot of it was side to side, to be fair. But they were a good side and plugging away, and it was unlucky not to.
Undoubtedly, two of their back four, Max Murphy at right back, 3 or 4 great interceptions, but Cole and Moran looks to be a real find at the back four, and probably the difference in the two teams, because the block that he made when he should have scored was the decisive moment for you guys.
I think so. Yeah, he made a couple of them, and he cleared a lot of aerial balls as well. He won a lot of headers. We didn't pick up in the seconds. He was very good. Very good young centre back. He's a proper defender. I think you're right, Mike. Yeah, he was probably man of the match in that sense.
You look at the changes from last year's personnel, and you had a familiar but unfamiliar centre midfield in Lee Devitt, Mark Walsh, Colin Conroy. Very good for 80 minutes. I know you had to make a couple of changes. Colin went off after 66, but lots of changes all over the park. Stephen Christopher could play out wide, but you had him at right back. Dean George can play up front, but you had him right in midfield. So you've had to mix and match it up.
Yeah, and those boys can play in different positions. Like Dino, anywhere across the front three. Obviously Enda is a central striker. We just felt we'd leave him on. We thought he'd get a chance. And Stevie did well right back, and Ben and Danto I thought were a good pairing. They took Chrissy Lyons off after 65-70 minutes, but they have a strong squad. As you see, there's 11 players came from Wexford last year, and they got players down from the Premier Division in, like say Webster wasn't there tonight, then Massey, and the lads they got in from Rovers, obviously he was a very good player, and a few others. So I think Max Murphy is Rovers as well. So look, I don't think they'll beat a lot of teams. We'd be competitive against them next year, or this year, should I say, in all the games. If we keep playing like that, we'll be fine.
Great chance at the end with Willie's free kick. I don't know, did you have much optimism 35 yards out, but whisker wide?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you'd always, when he's over the ball, or Mark, I thought Mark was going to take it actually, because it looked from our angle it might have been better for him, but it was a great effort to face the target it's in. It's just like a bounce of a ball, won it for them. But we keep plugging away.
As you said, you'll be competitive. You look across the Premier and First Division tonight, 7 of the 8 away teams scored. The opening nights usually are for away teams because they're just better prepared mentally. They're on the road earlier, they're thinking about the game longer. But look, I think you're going to be very competitive. Would you have optimism after tonight, despite where you've come from the last couple of weeks? Because the Ryan Connolly departure, a huge blow, and probably missed significantly tonight.
Yeah, look, I'm optimistic. Yeah, look, obviously next week was a really tough encounter. You'd like to get this time of year. It's about getting points on the board, and it's a scrappy enough match. Things settle down 10, 11 matches in. You start getting your rhythm. So you try to get as many points on the board as you can, stay in games, scrap away. I thought tonight we did that. If we scored the first goal, I think we win the game. It's just one of those. I think whoever scored first was going to win it.
You got Alec Byrne, I think, committed to the club now. Another centre midfield trying to repair the Ryan Connolly departure. So you've acted quickly. Happy with the business this week?
Yeah. Alec's a good young player. He's been full time with Cork the last 2 years. He's technically a good player. He's very athletic. He can get about the park, and he'll add to us for sure.
Decent enough crowd in, Tommy. Probably nowhere near the rest of the country and selling out their grounds. Bit of disappointment there?
Yeah, it always is, Mike, but look, the match was on tonight, that might have took a few away, but I still think there was more than there was last year. I think we averaged apparently 500 or so last year. There's about 8 there tonight, so that was a good show. It's a pity he didn't go away. We didn't get a win from him, so but you encourage him to stay around for the 90 odd minutes. That would be great, because this team will keep fighting till the end, and we created chances there and at the end, and we kept going, and that's all you can ask for.
I know it's 90 minutes into the new season. You never get carried away when you win the game or lose the game. So it's just about head down now and drive on week.
That's it. We've a really tough game next week. Can we go up there and get a point, get 3 points? But these games won't define our season. It's it's a long season, it's a hard slog, like it's 36 games, so we just have to, as I said, get points on board, whether it be in the next few games we got to get a win, get a draw, get results. It's important to get points on board.